Have you ever used an infinite money glitch in GTA or The Sims? The kind that instantly gives you millions and millions of dollars without putting any effort in? But did you know this actually happened in real life?
ATM glitch.
ATM glitch.
ATM glitch. ATM glitch.
Late last year, a loophole that started on TikTok that led Chase Bank customers to pull out over $600,000 in so-called free money. Here's the thing about free money. It always comes with a catch. So how did this glitch actually happen? How much did people manage to cash out? And most importantly, what happened once Chase Bank finally caught on?
I'm $99 billion in debt.
If you were mindlessly scrolling through TikTok in 2024, you might remember videos of people showing stacks of cash, ATM receipts and bank account balances that just looked fake. Suddenly you start noticing all these words floating around. Infinite money glitch. Overnight it spread like wildfire, and I do mean it spread everywhere. From your broke-ass friend to your co-worker, everyone knew about the infinite Chase Bank money glitch. Was this some sort of secret banking loophole that those elites didn't want you to know about? Well, TikTok started to be flooded with success stories of people pulling off this glitch, and people were not just gonna watch from the sidelines, they ran to have a taste of it themselves. So by now you might be asking yourself, how did this infinite money glitch actually work? Was it some secret banking exploit that only a few people in the world could actually pull off? Or was it something more simple, more trivial, or even more idiotic, I should say? So let's break this down. And just so you know, even though I'm breaking this down, maybe don't go do that yourself. You're gonna find out later why. Step 1. Write yourself a check. Doesn't matter if you actually have the money or not. Doesn't even matter if the check itself is real. As long as everything looks legit, you're good to go. Step 2. Deposit that check into Chase ATM. Remember, an ATM. You don't want these bank tellers to know you're up to something sus. Step 3. Because banks don't instantly verify checks, the second you deposit them, there's a tiny processing window. A brief moment where the system assumes that the money is in your account. And in that little gap of time, you just need to hit the withdraw button like crazy. The ATM spits out the money and you just walk away with the free stacks. Now, repeat this 1,000 times and you'll be a multimillionaire in no time. Easy work, right? As soon as word got out on how to do this supposedly easy trick, people didn't stop. Hundreds of Chase Bank customers lined up at Chase ATMs across the US, each one eager to get their slice of the pie. I mean, it's free money. Some people weren't just in it for a few $100 or even thousands. At the top of the list, there were 4 big players. 4 people who together made close to $700,000 from Chase Bank's ATMs. Let's start with the relatively small fishes. First one on our chopping block, Micah Reed, a resident of Los Angeles, California, who is ready to cash in the biggest payday of his life. Reed deposited 2 counterfeit checks that totaled around $116,000 into Chase Bank accounts over the course of just 2 days. Trust me, the other ones went much higher. The second one is actually a company listed by the name In and Out Appliances. There are no names linked to this company who actually did the glitch, but as we know for sure, they were having a field day with it, withdrawing about $150,000 from Chase Bank's ATMs across the US. But $140,000 doesn't even come close to what the other 2 guys on the list did. Next, there's a self-proclaimed music god, the owner of Risk Boss Music. I know, the name might be too good to be true, but trust me, it is. His company was apparently doing well over $254,000 because of the infinite money glitch. The only problem, none of their money was actually real. According to court documents, Rajik deposited multiple fake checks totaling a near $250,000, and he managed to get away with cashing over $150,000 before Chase Bank realized what's happening. And just in case you were wondering where all that cash went, yeah, I mean, he posted music videos and Instagram shorts where he was waving stacks upon stacks of cash. He lived the true GTA in life. In case you were keeping score, that's 3 people down. And the last one, he really took the crown. In Houston, authorities tracked down a so-called masked man, the biggest player in this whole scheme. Allegedly, he deposited over $335,000 into his account. Just casually, like he just and won the lottery. By now you must think, what actually happened to these people? Isn't this all way too easy? Of course they were not thinking about it, because if they actually did for a second, they know this is plain and simple check fraud. And Chase, they've been dealing with this type of shit for decades. Believe me, they aren't letting this go. As soon as hundreds of suspicious transactions had been made all over the US, Chase did what Chase does best. They shut it down. Hundreds of accounts that participated in the scheme were frozen. Funds were reversed, and the people who actually thought they were going to get away with this woke up to seeing their balances in the negative thousands. One day they were just rolling in stacks of free cash, and the next they owed more money to Chase Bank than they had ever seen in their lives. Some of them were actually surprised. Like, what the f did they think was gonna happen? Chase Bank, one of the biggest corporations in the US, would just let them take hundreds of thousands of dollars from them? Absolutely not. This was a bank robbery in broad daylight, and one thing you should never do is try to rob a bank. Frozen accounts and reversing of funds was Chase Bank's way to still go easy. Do you remember those 4 names we were talking about before? Of course, Chase had something special planned for all of them. If you run into a bank with AKs and take hundreds of thousands of dollars from them, they don't just take the money back, right? They take you to court. At first, Chase tried actually playing nice. They reached out to those 4 perpetrators, demanding the repayment of the money they had stolen. But of course, these people had already bought Lamborghinis, strippers, and probably some sort of substances. That's a normal thing to do after robbing a bank, right? So of course they didn't have the money. I mean, even if they did, it wouldn't be so simple. This was just a bait for Chase Bank to actually find them and prosecute them. Chase sued the 4 biggest perpetrators, officially taking them to federal court over hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when a federal court case has your name on it, it's no longer just an infinite money glitch. It's full-on bank robbery. And that comes with a little more than just some fees. It comes with prison time. How much exactly? Well, as of right now, the trial is still ongoing and hasn't concluded yet. The best we can do is give you a rough estimate. If defendants on the trial against Chase Bank are convicted, they are looking up to 10 to 30 years in prison and up to $1 million in fine. If you think Chase was going to let this all go, think again. If they let one bank robbery slide, others are just gonna mask up. And Chase, of course, couldn't afford that to happen. These scammers thought they found an exploit in life. They found an infinite money glitch. But Chase had been playing this game long before these dudes were even born. And what happens when you try to play their game? Well, just remember, the house always wins.